Love, love, love it.
Hi, my name's Jeff Makarevich, and welcome to Cooking for the Now. Today we're going to be doing one of my favorites, chicken cacciatore. It's comfort food and a little healthy done my way. Today we're going to start with boneless, skinless chicken breasts, along with boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Yes, I can already hear the messages coming through, but you're not using the whole chicken. Where's all the flavor with the skin and the bones? We're doing it my way. A little healthy, but we're getting all the flavor because I'm using the chicken thigh, the dark meat, along with the chicken breasts. I have some olive oil heated up here in the pan, and we want to add right to the olive oil. I have, do you hear that? That's what you want to hear when you hear it hitting the pan. If you don't hear that, then your pan is not hot enough. So I am probably going to do 2 batches because you don't want to overcrowd the pan. And on the chicken itself, I already salt and, one overboard, I always do that. I already salted and peppered the chicken and some paprika. Now, if you're fidgety, step away from the pan because you don't want to touch that after it already hits the pan. So let it go. Let it get caramelized, nice and brown on one side, and then we're going to flip it over to the other side and remove it from the pan. It won't be fully cooked yet, but you want it nice and golden brown and caramelized. That's where all the flavor comes from. We just removed the caramelized chicken from the pan, and it's smelling awful good in here, and it looks great. Our next step is to take 8 ounces of cremini mushrooms, and we're going to add them right to the same pan that we had the chicken in, that we browned the chicken in. So it's all the same drippings from the chicken. And once you spread out the cremini mushrooms, you do not want to touch them. And I'm going to give you my number 1 tip for mushrooms. Do not salt them yet. When you add salt to mushrooms, it will extract liquid from them because they're mostly liquid. And they'll steam instead of brown. So you want to salt and pepper afterwards, and that would be my tip of the day for mushrooms. And mushrooms taste so much better caramelized, so you don't want to miss this step. We just removed our sauteed creminis from the pan. Now let's start adding our vegetables. Let's start with a whole onion, a pretty large onion. And then we're going to add with our vegetables also a whole red pepper and a whole green pepper. Just add them all right on in there. And I love the colors combination. Look how beautiful it looks. Oh, and if you're a friend of ours, he'd say, look at the color. His name's Patrick. He's from Aussie, but he's usually talking about his wine, not the vegetables. Now, what you're going to do, you're just going to let this sweat out. It's okay to move this around. Let this sweat out for a few minutes. Hit it with some salt and pepper. And after this sautés for a little bit, like a couple minutes, we're gonna hit it with some white wine. We want to first dial up the heat, and then we'll hit it with some white wine, and then we'll reduce that down. We just finished sweating out the vegetables. Now we're ready to add everything back into the pot to put it into the oven. So next, I've cranked up the heat here, a little bit higher, to add some dry white wine. You want to do a little quality control first before you add it in there. Good, perfect. So this is going to deglaze the pan and bring all those drippings out. Let's just add it right in. Okay, and the reason why you want to do taste first is that this is going to reduce and it's going to concentrate the flavors of that wine. So if you don't like the wine, you don't want to add it in there. So that's very important. So we're going to start adding, this is already reduced dramatically, as you could see. We're going to start adding in a can of diced tomatoes. We got a 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes. we're gonna add in Kalamata olives, add the chicken back in with the nice caramelized cremini mushrooms, and then we have some thyme, and we have some rosemary. Where's my stirrer? Got it. Okay, so that has definitely got up all the drippings, and that's reduced perfectly now. So let's add in the tomatoes. Okay, we're gonna add in all of our mushrooms and our brown chicken. Okay, our Kalamata olives with a little bit of the brine juice, about a tablespoon of the brine juice in there, because it really gives a complete different layer of flavor. I love it. Love, love, love it. And we're using always fresh herbs. Rosemary comes right out the back. I just chop it. This is thyme. I just want to show you how it looks like. And you just peel back and it comes off very easily. But the rosemary I like to chop a little thinner because it has a little bit of a chewy consistency to it. So we're gonna add that in there. Now, I always add the chicken broth last. I have 2 cups in here, but I don't know if I'm gonna use it all because I don't want it to be swimming in broth. Okay, that's about a cup. I think that's about it. I don't like the liquid to come over top of the chicken. I'm not boiling the chicken at this point in time. If you could see the perfect level that it's at right now. So I probably used 1.5 cans of chicken stock, which is very important. That is everything. And then you can add, of course, a little more of your salt and pepper. And then when it comes out, I always do a last minute taste just to make sure that all the salt is perfectly at a perfect level. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna put it in the oven for about an hour at 375, and the chicken will be tender, fall apart. You won't need a knife. You're gonna love it. Let's put it in. Chicken cacciatore is done. It spent an hour in the oven at 375, and it's gonna be so tender and juicy. Oh, ooh. Don't forget to stand back or you're gonna get a chicken cacciatore facial. Oh, it smells so good. I wish you guys could smell it. Now this is how I love to eat it. A little different than everybody else. I love just to get the lovely chicken cacciatore itself, a good couple heaping fulls, and just pair it with my favorite vegetable. I love steamed broccoli with it. You can put so many different things with it. This is how I love to eat it. And that's what all my friends have been wanting to share how I eat with the world. And this is how I love my chicken cacciatore. The way that most people love to eat it is they put it in with a egg noodle. You can do an egg noodle, like a pasta. If you want to eat it that way, you can. This is how I love to eat it. I just love to soak up the juices with a spoon and eat it that way. I can't wait to dig in, and I hope you try it. I love, love, love it. Tune in again next week for my next favorite recipe.
Love, love, love it.